Hey guys, today we're going to do a study on Exodus chapter 23, so let's get into it. You must not spread a false report. Do not join the wicked to be a malicious witness. You must you must not follow a crowd of wrongdoing. Do not testify in lawsuit and go along with a crowd to prevent justice. Do not show favoritism to the poor person in his lawsuit. So you shouldn't lie in court, spread a false report. To do not join the schemes of the wicked, to be a lying witness, a malicious witness. And you shouldn't follow what everybody else is doing if they're all doing the wrong thing. And do not testify and lie so that you can prevent justice. And do not try to incriminate the poor person, or to be nice to a poor person. Do not show favoritism. Don't lie so they can get out, or lie so they can get in, If you come across an enemy stray ox or donkey, you must return it to him. So if you come across your enemy's ox or donkey, you must return to it, because even though he's an enemy, it still belongs to him, and you should return to it. If you see the donkey of someone who hates you lying helpless on its load, you want to refrain from helping it, you must help with it. So if someone's donkey, if someone who hates you has his donkey underneath a load, you should help it, because even if it's your enemy, you should help the donkey because it's his. You must not deny justice to a poor person money in his lawsuit. So you shouldn't, prevent a poor person from getting justice because they're poor. Stay far away from false accusations. Do not kill the innocent and the just, because I will not justify the guilty. So, do not associate yourself with false accusations, and do not kill the innocent and just. So don't help other people to make false accusations, and because God will not justify the guilty, because if you kill the innocent and just, God will eventually judge the guilty. You must not take a bribe, for a bribe lines a clear sign corrupts the reward of the righteous. So you shouldn't take bribes, because if you take a bribe, you would do what the person who gives you the money says, and it makes you you won't do what's right, because you will prioritize doing what the person who gave you the money wants you to do. You must not oppress a resident alien. You yourself knows how it feels to be a resident alien, because you're a resident alien to the land of Egypt. So you shouldn't oppress to do bad things to a resident alien, immigrants in their country, because you were resident aliens in the land of Egypt. Sow your land for 6 years and gather its produce. But during the 7th year, you are to let it rest and leave it uncultivated, so that the poor among you or people may eat from it, and the wild animals may consume what they leave. And do the same with the vineyards and your olive groves. So, you want the land for 6 years and you gather its produce, but on the 7th year, you are to leave it uncultivated, so you are to rest. This is mimicking the Sabbath, 6 years of 6 days of work, the 7th day rest. And also it has another purpose, so that the wild animals and the poor people can eat the uncultivated land, and it can also do the same for the vineyards and olive groves. Do your work for 6 days, but rest on the 7th day, so that your ox and your donkey may rest, and the sons of your female slaves as well as the resident aliens may be refreshed. So work for 6 days, and the 7th, this is Sabbath, so that your ox and your donkey may rest, and the sons of your female slaves as well as resident aliens may be refreshed. So this is not just for the men, but for the animals, and sons of your female slaves and the resident aliens. So everybody will be able to rest. Pay attention to everything I have said to you. You must not invoke the names of other gods. They must not be hard on your lips. So, you should not even say the names of other gods, because I am like the god you worship, because like all those other gods are like false gods, and he's the one true god. And also like he doesn't want you to worship any other god, any other false god, because God created people to worship him. Celebrate a festival in my honor 3 times a year. Observe the Feast of Unleavened Bread as I command you. You ought to eat unleavened bread for 7 days, at a point in time in the month of Ibad, because you came out of Egypt in that month. No one is to appear before me empty-handed. So God's saying, like, celebrate these festivals in honor of me. So first, you must celebrate the Feast of Unleavened Bread. So you will eat unleavened bread, because you came out of Egypt that month. So like, that's when you came out of Egypt. So you're doing a remembrance that's how I brought you out of Egypt in that month. Also, observe the Feast of Harvest with the first fruits of your produce from what you sow in the field. And so you also should observe the Feast of Harvest, and observe the Feast of Ingathering. At the end of the year, when you gather your produce from the field, 3 times a year, all your males appear before the Lord God. So you also should celebrate the Feast of Ingathering. So these are the 3 festivals that they should celebrate. And 3 times a year, all your males appear before the Lord God. So your males must like present yourself before your Lord God as like being committed to me, because I have brought you out of Egypt. Like the Lord God has brought them out of Egypt. You must not offer the blood of my sacrifice with anything leaven. The fat of my festival offerings must not remain until morning. So when you sacrifice anything, you should not have anything with leaven, so like any bread with leaven or stuff like that. And the festival offering, it should not remain until morning. So it should be gone, like burned up, like by the time it's morning. Bring the first of your first fruit of your lands to the house of your Lord God. You must not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. So, you should bring the best of your first fruit from the land to the Lord your God. So, like, the best stuff you have in the fruit. And also, you must not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. This is obviously this is like something like really bad, because boiling a young goat in its mother's milk, that sounds like weird. But I think that, like, I'm pretty sure some pagans used to do this as worship, and God's saying, like, don't do this as worship, because I don't approve of boiling a goat in its mother's milk. I'm going to send an angel before you to protect you on the way and bring you to the place I prepared. Be attentive to him and listen to him. Do not defy him, because he will not forgive your acts of rebellion, for my name is in him. But if you will carefully obey him and do everything I say, then I will be enemy to enemies and a foe to your foes. For my angel will go before you and bring you to the land of the Amorites, Hittites, Perizzites, Canaanites, Hittites, and Jezreelites, and I will wipe them out. Do not bow and worship to their gods, and do not serve them. Do not imitate their practices. Instead, demolish them and smash their sacred pillars to pieces. Serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water. I will remove illness from you. No woman will miscarry or be childless in your land. I'll give you full number of your days. I will cause the people ahead of you to fear terror, and will throw into confusion all the nations you come to. I will make all your enemies turn their back to you and retreat. I will send hornets in front of you, and they will drive the Hittites, Canaanites, and Hittites away from you. I will not drive them out ahead of you in a single year, otherwise the land will become desolate, and wild animals will multiply against you. I will drive them out little by little ahead of you until you have become numerous and take possession of the land. I will set your borders from the Red Sea to the Mediterranean Sea, and from the wilderness to the Euphrates River, and from the wilderness, for I will place the inhabitants of the land under your control, and you will drive them out ahead of you. You must not make a covenant with them or their gods. They must not remain in your land, or else they will make you sin against me. If you serve their God, it will be a snare for you. So the Lord God is saying, so first I'm going to send an angel before you. So you're going to have an angel to fight for them. And you must listen to whatever he says. Do not defy him, because he will not forgive you, and he will punish you because I put him in authority over you. But if you listen to everything he says, then then I will be an enemy to your enemy and a foe to your foes. And then my angel will bring you to the land which I promise you, and I will wipe them out. You must not, bow to their gods, so you shouldn't worship the gods they have. He is a false god, and once again, the Lord God created the people to worship him. And you must not serve them, and you shouldn't hate, any of their practice, you should not hate up. And instead, you should, get rid of, all the sacred pillars, and, get rid of all this thing. And, you must continue to serve God. And after this, he blesses he says he's gonna bless them if he solves him. He will, make them not be sick. Then, he will make it so that no woman would miscarry, so no woman would, no baby would die in a womb or be childless, so every woman will have a child. And I will give you, 4 numbers of your days, so your life won't be cut short. You will live as long as you can. And now he's going to say once again, I will cause the people ahead of you to feel terror and foe and confusion, all the nations you come to. So all the nations will be in confusion and terror, so they won't be able to beat you, and they will, run to you and retreat. And I also send the hornets in front of you, and they will drive out the people. I will not drive them out ahead of you in a single year, so, he won't drive them out in a single year, all of them, because then the land will become desolate, and then a bunch of animals will multiply, and then you have to get rid of all the animals, and then you have to recultivate the land. So instead of that, I'm just gonna dry them out little by little, so that by the time they'll be driven out, and then you will get the land, and the land will be already cultivated for you. And then I'll set your borders to the Red Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, from the wilderness to the Euphrates River. So he's saying, how big the land that's gonna be, the promised land is gonna be. It's gonna be from the Red Sea all the way to the Mediterranean Sea, and from all the way to the wilderness to the Euphrates River. And everyone who lives in land will be under your control, and you will drive them out. And you should not, to make a power with them. You should not, come in agreement with them or whatever. Because they must not remain in your land. Because if they remain in your land, they will eventually tempt you to sin and to serve their gods. And it will be a snare for you. And God, he repeatedly told them not to serve other gods and told them that he's gonna punish them. So, if they serve another god, then he will not be for them. So there will be a snare, there will be a trap, ready to get killed if they serve other gods. But yeah. So that is study of Exodus chapter 23, which is about how you shouldn't lie in court. Festivals and Sabbaths and stuff like that, and the Lord God giving them promise and warnings about how they would get the land if they serve him, and a warning that if they don't serve him, he will not be for them, and he will be against them. So yeah. So if any experienced Christian sees this and I said anything wrong, please correct me. And if you like this video, like it. And if you think I'm doing something good, subscribe. And I'll see you the next day if the Lord wills. Bye.